Fried rice is my go-to meal. It's quick, it's filling, and it's so delicious. But every time I eat it, I'm reminded that it's a mix of both savory and bitter vegetables. There's hearty brown rice, crisp carrots, sweet corn, savory bell peppers, and then peas. I don't like peas, and I never have. At first, I'd pluck them out of my plate, stacking them to the side like little green rejects. But I soon realized that the meal was not the same without both elements. The savory and the bitter are what give the meal its heart. And isn't that life? Life is never just savory, nor is it ever just bitter. It's both, combined in one bowl. And the challenge is not to pass the peas. Rather, it's to embrace it with the rest. My early childhood is nothing if not a lesson in that balance. There were plenty of peas. After the 2008 market crash, my family and we went from living in a spacious home with fireplaces and chandeliers to living in a basement with a bed and a couch. Talk about a downsize. Whereas once we would scoff at the idea of having to eat leftovers, day-old fried rice would be consumed with delight. And can you imagine the horror for a preteen girl going from wannabe fashionista to a serial outfit repeater? Thank God for the homogeny that uniforms provided. But during that time, there were also so many savory moments. Our community stepped in when we needed them the most. They provided a home when we had nowhere else to stay. They gave me clothes when I started to outgrow mine and my family couldn't afford to buy me new ones. They filled dinners with laughter and so much joy. Those were the savory moments that held us throughout. They didn't erase the bitter ones, but balanced it. And that is what made survival possible. It was our community. And what bothers me is that we're growing up in a culture of individualism. Everyone wants to be focused on themselves rather than everybody else. We all claim to want a village, but very few actually want to be villagers. In my generation, our future, we're watching. We're growing up in a world whereas individualism trumps collective activism. We're growing up in a world where likes replace love, whereas success is not measured by how many people you bring up, but by rather how far ahead you get. My story is a testament to the fact that resilience is not built in isolation, it is built with community. Since then, now in a position of privilege, I am so happy to be able to re-gift the acts of kindness that I once received, whether that be by advocacy, serving at food kitchens, or sorting donations at centers for families in need. Because at the end of the day, we must not forget about one another. So, life will always give us peas. The question is, will you see it as something to just reject, or something that belongs in your bowl? At the end of the day, the secret is, the peas don't ruin the dish. They add so much more. They add depth and complexity to the savory ones. They add so much more meaning. They make the whole thing more hearty and more real. So, the next time that you find a pea in your fried rice, lumps in your mashed potatoes, a pulp in your orange juice, or whatever the bitter may be in your life, do not push it aside. Instead, ask yourself, how are the bitter elements enhancing the savory ones in my life? And how may I contribute to the balance of someone else's? Thank you.